Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Folks, I have some breaking news for you, some new information coming out of the Biden administration that was just reported about a new threshold, folks, a new threshold for the stimulus checks. Welcome to Ignition Time. This is breaking news. So, folks, what we have going on is that apparently there is going to be an income threshold. At least this is what is emerging from the White House. I'll show you this brand new article on your screen that was published by the Washington Post that says the new Democratic plan, everyone, for the $1,400 stimulus checks. Under the new version that is being discussed right now is that 1,400 checks would go to individuals earning under 1,500, under $50,000. So $1,400 to those earning under $50,000 and $2,800 to married couples making less than $100,000. So I'll provide you with the link, folks, to this article from the Washington Post in the description section below, so you can definitely check it out. But keep in mind that the original proposal, everyone, the original proposal had the $75,000 cap, which was the same as the previous stimulus checks. But this seems to be a lower threshold, which means that less people would get these checks. So a lot of economists have suggested that this third round of stimulus checks, if you will, should go to the hardest hit families, should go to those who are struggling the most, and therefore the threshold should be lowered. This is what was proposed. And, a lot of Republicans are saying that this is a waste of taxpayer dollars. Now, I have done another video, folks, on our channel earlier today, which I encourage you to check out, where I actually made a case for the fact that the threshold should not be lowered. Okay, I did make a case for that fact, and I said that the threshold should not be lowered. In fact, let me actually show you our channel super fast, and give me a moment. I will show you our channel right now. Here we go. That is our channel. Let me take myself out. And I did a video on 5 reasons why the $2,000 stimulus checks should not be targeted, folks. So I definitely recommend, folks, that you check out that video, because I do highlight why the stimulus checks should not be targeted. Basically, folks, I believe the stimulus checks should not be targeted simply because I believe that the Republicans are playing games and they won't sign a large stimulus. I also feel that there's a low cost to borrowing money. I feel that families need help right now. I feel that the rich should be taxed more in order to be able to pay for all this extra expense that we are incurring. And also, to be completely honest, at the end of the day, people care for checks in the mail. People care for checks as opposed to, bipartisanship, because that's what you're going to remember. And some of us are really, really, really suffering, which is why I think the income threshold should not be lowered. But the White House has signaled, folks, that the president is willing to narrow who gets the stimulus checks by sending checks only to low and middle income families this time around. So the latest Democratic proposal, everyone, would send $1,400 stimulus checks to individuals earning $50,000 or less, okay, and to married couples earning $100,000 or less. Now, this would be based on the most recently available tax returns. Now, obviously, this can't include, well, not obviously, but for most of us, this won't include 2020 tax returns, because a lot of us haven't filed yet. I haven't filed. So, this is probably going to go off of your most recent tax returns. Heads of households earning up to $75,000 would also qualify. And, the past stimulus checks, I want everyone to know, were based off adjusted gross income, meaning, your total income across all your sources. And it's likely to be the same this time. And similar to the previous thresholds, people who earn above this $50,000, $100,000 threshold and the $75,000 threshold for head of household, if you make more than that, you would still qualify, but you would not get the full $1,400. Plus, if you go above a certain threshold, you would lose the stimulus check entirely. So, folks, that is actually what's going on. And according to some research, and this is from the Washington Post. By the way, folks, again, I'll provide you with a link to the article in the description section below. About 71% of Americans would get the full benefits, and another 17% would get a partial benefit. And remember, this is less than President Biden's initial proposal for the payments to go to individuals earning up to $75,000, single and married couples up to $150,000. That would have resulted in 85% of Americans getting full payments. And this is going to result in 71%. So basically, with the previous proposal, 85% of Americans would have gotten $1,400, but with this proposal, 71% of Americans would get the full 1,400. And as far as kids are concerned, folks, under the Democratic plan that is taking shape, parents of children would receive an additional $1,400 per child. That means a family of four would receive $5,600, folks. So that is what this means. Democrats are also, folks, separately pushing for a child tax credit that would benefit that would be $3,600 per child, under the age of 6, and $3,000 per child, school-going child from 6 through 17. Now, Mitt Romney did propose a slightly different plan, which I'll be highlighting on our channel, and we do expect the child tax credit to make its way through to help low-income families. So, folks, as far as when the payments start going out, once Congress passes the package, which is expected sometime in March, it's not going to happen this month. This thing's going to take some time. It should be right after, and payments should start going out, folks, in a matter of days. So, the $600 checks went out within 3 weeks by direct deposit, and the mail checks took a little longer. And this new proposal, folks, would cost around $420 billion. $420 billion. The original proposal would have cost $465 billion because that would have paid people who were made up to 75,000. So remember, the original proposal with President Biden would have singles earning up to 75,000 getting 1,400, and couples earning up to 150,000 getting the 1,400. But this proposal would reduce those income thresholds to 50,000 and 100,000. Now, again, I don't think honestly that it should be reduced, but hey, that is what is being discussed. I want to remind our viewers and subscribers one more time that on our channel today, let me actually show you our channel super fast, folks. By the way, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. But on our channel, folks, I did do a video today where I talked about 5 reasons not to target the $2,000 stimulus checks. I don't believe that the stimulus checks should be targeted. So hopefully, folks, when you get a chance, check out that video as well. But what is happening right now, folks, is Democrats are exploring the eligibility based on the prior year's income, meaning people would have to qualify for the checks based on what they earned in 2019 or 2020. So in case you're wondering, will this be based on the 2019 or 2020 income? The final proposal has not yet been released, folks, but the Democrats are saying that the eligibility of the stimulus payments will be based off of the prior year's income, okay? Meaning people would have to qualify based on what they earned in 2019, or if you filed your 2020 tax returns, it'll be based off of 2020. And as far as adult dependents are concerned, folks, adult dependents will get money. They will get money under the Democrats' current plan, according to multiple people that were, that reported this. And in the 2 prior rounds of stimulus payments, I want our viewers and subscribers to understand that people over the age of 17 who could be claimed as a dependent, we're talking college students, maybe even disabled adults, were not eligible for any stimulus money. And that meant that 13.5 million Americans were excluded. But with these stimulus checks, adult dependents are eligible. This is the first time, folks. This is the first time. In the first 2 stimulus checks with the initial 1,200 and the 600, adult dependents were not included. But with the Democratic plan, adult dependents are included. Okay, so adult dependents are eligible for stimulus payments, which is encouraging. Okay, and folks, there's widespread consensus that these checks will help the economy. Survey has shown that 36% of the first stimulus checks were saved, and folks, 35% of the first stimulus checks were used to pay down debt, but right now it's predicted that 73% of the 1,400 payments will go towards savings and produce a limited effect. So, the White House said, hey, we disagree with that. And the $600 checks, folks, have already started going out and have already gone out. You should have received your $600 check by now. And Democrats seem to be very, very unified, folks, with the new $1,400 proposal. And we're starting to see even conservative Democrats or centrist Democrats like Joe Manchin from West Virginia say that he would like to see the checks being phased out at 50K for individuals and 100K for couples. So it looks like, folks, that either Joe Manchin or some of the Republicans managed to be heard. They managed to be heard by the administration, which is why the checks are going to be cut. And I want our viewers and subscribers to know that there's a strong support for this new round of stimulus checks. Republican lawmakers have been quite up and down about this. So some have said, hey, we should do it. Some have said we shouldn't. But at this point in time, folks, a group of 10 Republican lawmakers suggested $1,000 stimulus payments instead of 1,400, and the administration said, nah, no can do. We're going to stick with 1,400. So, folks, that is basically what's happening right now. Folks, if you learn something new, do me a favor. Please click like, please click subscribe. I do have one more important update for you. Folks, this is significant. This is brand new information that's coming out, since we're talking stimulus checks. Let me give you some brand new information here about other stuff that's going on, folks. The president former President Trump was asked to testify. He was asked to testify in his own impeachment trial, and it's clear that he did say he's not going to be testifying. And a lot of interesting things are going on right now, pertaining to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the White House did present a proposal to the Republican senators, but they are waiting for the Republicans to respond. Right now, the Republicans haven't responded. I have a feeling, folks. I have a feeling that we will see. I want to be as clear as I can. I have a feeling, folks. I have a feeling that we will see the passage of the $1.9 trillion stimulus sometime in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Now, it won't be the full 1.9. It'll be a version of it. Today, the Senate is going through several amendments, several revisions. It's a voter-armor. There's a lot of mania happening on the floor of the Senate today. I'll be reporting that in another video. But Trump will not testify at the impeachment trial, and the Republicans will try to block the larger stimulus package, but it will go through because the Democrats do have the votes, folks. The Democrats do have the votes to pass the larger stimulus package. Also, folks, in other news, let me show you this on your screen, folks. And this is reporting by Zoe Tillman, who's a senior reporter for BuzzFeed News. Let me actually show you this. This is interesting, folks. Let me show you this on your screen right here. There's a 285-page, $2.7 billion lawsuit that the election tech company Smartmatic has filed in Manhattan against Fox News, Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, Jeanine Pirro, Rudy Giuliani, and Sidney Powell. Okay? Wow. The introduction says, let's take a look at this introduction. The introduction says, this is a lawsuit. You're looking at a 2.7, folks. We are looking at a $2.7 billion lawsuit filed by the election company Smartmatic against Fox News hosts, including Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, and also Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani. Super interesting stuff. And they start the lawsuit, folks, by saying the earth is round. 2 + 2 = 4. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won the 2020 election. The election was not stolen, rigged, or fixed. These are facts. They are demonstrable and irrefutable. And then they go on to make a case against the defendants. Boy, oh boy, folks, this is going to be a pretty expensive battle for Fox, Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, as well as Jeanine Pirro, and Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. $2.7 billion, everyone. So I think that it's fair to say that the Trump legal team and Trump defenders are going to have some pretty hefty legal bills, everyone. So that is what's going on. And like I said, Trump was asked to testify. And here's a comment from Senator Chris Coons. Okay, I believe Chris Coons is from Delaware. Let me reconfirm. I've been covering this news for so long, folks. I know most of these senators, by heart, because I'm a nerd. Yes, Chris Coons is from Delaware. I got it right. Now you have not lost faith in me. Chris Coons is a Democrat from Delaware. And check this out, folks. This is funny. Chris Coons was asked, do you think Trump should testify? I think it's a terrible idea. Why? Have you met President Trump? So I just thought that was worth reporting. But folks, right now, as far as let me be clear, as far as stimulus is concerned, we are seeing a smaller package being considered by the White House, and they are indeed looking to further target the stimulus negotiations. Also, folks, I will do another video talking about Senator Mitt Romney's proposal. Let me show you this. Let's bring this up for you, folks. Mitt Romney from Utah, Senator Mitt Romney, has a new child benefit proposal proposing $3,000, okay, per school-going child, a child age 6 through 17, as a child tax credit payable monthly, or up to $4,200 for a child, up until the age of 6, newborn until the age of 6. So this is a proposal from Mitt Romney, and it's very clear, folks. Let's be clear, between the Republicans and the Democrats, there is consensus on some areas. Let's analyze what those areas are. Both of them want $50 billion in funding for small business. Both of them want $160 billion in funding for vaccine distribution. Both of them want money for child tax credits. Both of them want money for for children, because no child should ever be hungry. Folks, I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. It's just the thought of any child going hungry is not a good thought. Adults going hungry is one thing. Some of us probably should go a day or two without food. But as far as children are concerned, hey man, I can get behind, trying to do away with child poverty in the United States of America. Probably for that, I mean, in any country. So I have actually done another video. I actually recorded that video right before I did this one, and I'll release that video right afterwards. So about the Romney plan. So there is consensus, folks, as far as these areas are concerned, but there is no consensus about state and local aid. The Democrats want well over $300 billion, $360 billion, I believe. The Republicans want to offer a whopping, a grand total, a massive amount of $0. And as far as the how far apart they are on stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. So, folks, that is the update. I do appreciate you watching, and I'll be releasing other important videos on our channel. Let me just remind you, folks, about one more thing. I encourage you folks to please follow me on Twitter, because you'll be able to follow along with everything that I'm reading, folks. So check this out. That's my Twitter feed. So follow along with me on Twitter. There's some interesting news about Trump testifying under oath and stuff like that. So you'll get all of those stories on my Twitter feed. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications if you learned something new from this video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Appreciate you. Bye.